Hi guys! In this video I'm going to be talking about my trip to Portugal that happened in April. I'm sorry, it's really long overdue. I don't know why I've put it off. I got this book and it's like the first thing that I wrote down, and I've written down like so many video ideas since then, and it's just being brushed aside, but I've decided that I am going to do it because I wasn't really going to do it, but I am. So starting off, I'm going to talk about the trip there because it was a bit eventful. It was kind of a nighttime flight. When we got on the plane, there was this woman and she seemed to not like flying. So I just brushed it off and I was like, oh, it's okay, not everyone likes flying, you know. So we set off, and as the plane ran on the ground, it didn't even fly up yet. She was literally screaming, saying we're gonna die and everything else. And then when it took off, she started screaming even more and swearing, and there were kids on the plane, and I was just like, I turned to my boyfriend and I was just like, is this really happening? Well, I didn't say that to him, but you know, giving him that look. There wasn't that much turbulence and she didn't have anything to be afraid of, so it's just people for you. So we got to Portugal and we got to the airport, and we were getting a private taxi to the apartment, and there was a queue of people there, so we joined the queue, and we were queuing for about half an hour before we realised that we were in a queue when we didn't need a queue, because the cubicle next to the queue was where we were meant to be, and there was nobody there. So we got there and there were like a lady saying, oh, is this for you? I'm not saying my boyfriend's surname, but he says yes. So she was like, follow me. And yeah, so we got taken to our private taxi. I don't know if this is everywhere in the world, but everywhere that I've been abroad, they're always putting the foot down and driving like the rally racing, and it's just, I don't know, it's a bit weird. It reminded me of Malta. In Malta we were in a minibus. First of all, my seatbelt wouldn't work, and then he put his foot down and he was bouncing about everywhere, and then we got like halfway round the trip and he realised he'd forgotten loads of people, so we had to go back to the airport, and then it stalled and broke down and everything, and that was another story. But that was Malta and this is Portugal. It wasn't as bad. It was a very quick journey. We got there at night and I loved the apartment, but I'm going to talk about that later. I would genuinely just go back there for the apartment. I woke up the next morning because we got there about 11 o'clock and I was really tired, so we didn't really go out. I think we had coffee because we didn't have anything to drink. And I woke up in the morning with no voice. I just literally could not speak. Not letting that faze me, we decided to go explore the land of Olhao, which is where we're staying. I think it's how we say it, I still don't know. We turned right out of the apartment, which was the opposite way to where we were supposed to go, but obviously we didn't know where we were. We didn't really do any research before. So walking, and we came across a dead cat, which looked like it had been there a while, and it was very upsetting. And then we walked even further, and there was loads of stray dogs. There were like deserted cars. There was a abandoned pram on the street. It was a bad introduction to the area, but we walked further and then we found where people actually, well, people were living there, but where the life was. I don't know. We found the main town and the houses were absolutely beautiful and the streets were beautiful. I don't know, the streets were very narrow, the pavements were anyway, and if there was a car that came past you kind of had to hug up to the wall and pray that you didn't get run over. It wasn't that bad. I don't know why I'm saying that. There were like tiles on some of the houses. We then ventured to the port. There wasn't a beach there, but it was like the port with loads of shops and restaurants and everything, and a little park. And as we went into the park, there was like a mini St Mark's Square. If you've been to St Mark's Square, I think that's in Venice, I don't know, it was a long time ago, you'll know that there's loads of pigeons, and there was loads of pigeons here. I think pigeons are alright, but it was just a bit odd. So then we went for a drink and explored the market and everywhere, and yeah, that was that part. The people of the town are just, I don't even know if this is Portugal all over, but they were very like conserved, if that's the right word. They weren't friendly, but they didn't like tend to talk to you much. But we did go to this bar, I can't remember the name of it, but it was really good. We walked in and I think he'd lived in England a bit, did the barman who owned the bar, and he came and spoke to us for about half an hour, and it was really different to everywhere else that we'd been. There was a lot of people that you had to avoid the restaurants, otherwise they'd try and drag you in, which was a bit But yeah, apart from that, it was really nice. It's a very small town. I don't know if I'd go there again, but it was nice. I'd go there for the day, but not like for as long as we went. And now I'm going to talk about the apartment that we were staying in. We stayed at the Real Marina Hotel and Spa, which was in Olhao. It was a beautiful. I didn't see the restaurant, the hotel, but there was like apartments rather than like the main hotel. There were like apartments at the side, and we stayed in those. There were free Wi-Fi, really modern apartments. I think it was 4-star. It might have been 5 actually. I'm not sure. Self-catering, and it was just. I felt like I was buying an apartment. Like I'd have bought that and lived there forever because it was just beautiful, and I wouldn't have bothered decorating really. Apart from the balcony were a bit basic, but yeah. But it was beautiful, absolutely lovely. Also, the view was not as spectacular as the apartment, but yeah, it was just a really nice place to go. Filming doing a talk. I think we stayed there for 4 nights. The last night was our 1-year anniversary. We were like, right, we're going to go out and we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a nice meal, which we did. And we're going to go to that bar, which we went to. And now we're talking about that guy who was talking to us. And as we were sat in that bar, I decided to wear some heels along with a maxi dress, because the maxi dress was too long for me, so I thought I'd wear my heels because then it wouldn't be trailing all over the floor. And that was my brilliant idea, until I got blisters everywhere and my toes were bleeding and I was not happy. So we had to go home, and the night was cut short by me again. But this time it wasn't my cold, so we didn't really have any successful nights. But earlier on that day we went to somewhere absolutely stunning, and called Armona, and it's an island that you can get a boat to from Olhao or wherever else. It's just one main road. There's no cars on this island whatsoever, and it's a main road filled with absolutely spectacular gardens. Honestly, it's just flowers everywhere. They're really like unique gardens, really well looked after, and it's just, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There were like little side streets going off, like where people could get to the other houses, and we didn't really look round them, but I'd really like to, because I think you must have to like sign something to say I'm going to have a beautiful garden here. There wasn't one that was like horrible. They were all amazing. And yeah, there were no cars. You had to go everywhere by foot, but it only took 20 minutes to get to the other side of the island. On the other side of the island there was a beautiful beach, and it was just like a walkway to the beach, which seemed like forever to walk down. I'm pretty sure that was like 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes of gardens, but it was amazing anyway. And the views there were lovely. It wasn't the best beach I've been to, but it was really nice nevertheless. I got very sunburnt that day, I think. And then we went for a beer at this the bar that was on the beach, and had a hot dog, I think. And they had like chips or crisps. Chips if you're in America, crisps if you're in England. I don't know where else. But they were like really, really, really thin, like not like fries thin, but shaven, and it were really weird, but they were really nice, and they were like in the hot dog. So overall, I would go to Portugal. Again. I would definitely go to Armona if I was in Portugal again, but I don't think I would stay in the same place. I would try and find a real marina hotel that was in a nicer place. It was a lovely place, but there just wasn't that much to do, and I would go at a different time of year because it was quite cloudy, but we wanted to go somewhere that month. So I think we're going to go somewhere next year at the same time. So if you've got any recommendations for late April, please do comment below and let me know, and I will be sure to check it out, because it was only like 25 degrees, which in England that would be absolutely boiling and everyone would be sunbathing. But like in Portugal it was really cloudy and it was just 25 degrees but humid, so it wasn't that hot. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already and you would like to see more videos, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi guys. So it's that time of year again. Not that time of year, that time of season again, where I show you how much my hair has grown.